Medfield TV presents Meet the Candidates, interviews with our citizens running for local offices. This series is brought to you by the joint efforts of Carol Mayer, Town Clerk, Kevin Murphy, Medfield High School Social Studies teacher, Aditi Tate, Cheryl Dunley, and the staff of Medfield TV. I'm Lily Jackson from Medfield High School. I'll be posing questions to the candidate. She'll have 2 minutes to respond to each question. And at the end of the questioning period, the candidate will have 2 additional minutes to address the TV audience. Today we're interviewing Anna Mae O'Shea BROOKE. Any relation to Jennifer O'Shea?
No relation to the other candidate running to Jennifer.
Okay. And she is an incumbent running for the office for the school committee. This position is a 3-year term and there are 2 positions open. She is running opposed. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I love having you here. And your first question is, why do you want to run for the office?
Well, quite simply, my work is not done yet on the school committee, I feel. Last year we started the strategic plan initiative, and so that is the 5-year plan that is guiding our school district, and I was on the subcommittee that orchestrated the strategic plan, and I feel that I'm in a unique position to see it executed and followed through. So I'd like to see that done.
And you have been on the school committee before. What experiences have you learned that can help you in the future?
Yes, so besides being, I feel involved in the last 15, 16 years we've lived in town. I've been within New in Town and the PTO, which is the old CSA, and also co-president of the Medfield Coalition for Public Education. So that was very interesting in terms of funding grants that teachers submitted. So that was another element of the needs of the schools and what the schools, they supplement what the schools cannot provide in their budget. So that gave me an interesting perspective. But I think essentially being an engaged parent in the schools has given me the respect and admiration and great working relationships with teachers and administrators. I have a child at Wheelock, at Blake, and at the high school. So I think that perspective gives me important insight that I think is critical on the school committee.
And you've been very active in the community, obviously, but for people that don't know you, what's one thing that you'd like to tell them?
What I'd like to tell them is that my door is always open. Essentially, when I first ran back in 2014 in March, I ended my letter to, I sent out an email distribution to please vote for me, and this is why I think you should, but I ended it with, I will be accessible to you, because this position is not about me, this is about representing the families.
What do you think is one of the biggest challenges facing Medfield, and how do you plan to solve that?
The biggest challenge? Well, I think that we can't, in a town of over 12,000 people, it's each household, each constituent will have their own, issue at hand that they would like to address. I mean, we could say, we haven't met our 40B criteria yet. Our taxes are going up, the school budget, the town budget, affordable senior housing. So essentially what we need to keep in mind is that this town is diverse. We need to keep lines of communication open with all the various groups and to be mindful of those groups. And I think that the key here, and I think Dr. Marsden has been masterful at this in terms of collaborating with these different groups, because we don't live in a bubble within the school system. Everybody has a part in it, so we've got to keep in contact with MEMO, with the seniors in town, with the various parent groups, and there are and they're varied, and everybody's got a different opinion, so we need to be mindful. But I think the key is collaboration and communication.
Mm-hmm. What has been the biggest challenge so far in this campaign?
The biggest challenge, well, I would say that it is reaching the younger parents. So my oldest is a sophomore, and I also have a freshman, and I have a 7th grader and a 3rd grader. And I feel that I haven't completely connected yet with the younger parents. And however, when I was collecting my signatures, I thought, all right, I need to get to know these people. So one day, on one of the nicer days, I went to Memorial to the pickup line, and I went down the line. The line was huge. Hi, my name's Anna Mae O'Shea Brooke, and I'm running for school committee again. And so I got to talk to some of those people, and what was interesting is they moved to Medfield for our schools, or that's what the majority of the folks told me. And so it's important to not only have a passion, but to just be connected still. So I think my challenge is to constantly be connected even with the younger families.
And when talking about getting and being connected, sometimes in public education, it's difficult for teachers and principals to do their jobs because of all the bureaucratic red tape. How would you propose making it easier for them to communicate?
Yes, so you know what, that's an interesting one, because when it comes to bureaucracy and red tape, no one likes it. However, some things are mandated by law. You know, the teacher evaluations, the kids still need to take the MCAS in the public schools. So beyond that, what I think is really important is establishing a culture of these data points are not the be-all, end-all. So for example, about a month ago, Dr. Marsden presented the MCAS results, and we're so fortunate here in Medfield because the kids do well because the teachers teach well. And but Dr. Marsden premised that presentation with, this is one data point, and we have to look at the bigger picture. So I think if we establish or continue to establish a culture of that's just one point, but I think what's important is school committee supports professional development, supports the summer research and development that they do, but also kind of, you know, get the principals, and I know they're doing this, I know they're doing a great job, but it would be great to see even more, having the principals be a bit more creative with their schedules so that teachers can have common planning time. That's not costing us extra money. You know, it's just being creative with that schedule, because we want teachers to collaborate and to learn from each other, because I think, you know, just like you and I, when we talk, we learn from each other, and then we get excited about, you know, what we've learned. So I think when teachers get excited with what they've learned, they translate that into the classroom, and then the kids, you know, because so energy is transferred, and I think that's showing respect for the teacher, that we value what they have to say, and we want to make them better at what they do.
Definitely. And on the topic of teachers, there's been several contractual issues with the administration about raising wages for the staff.
Yeah.
As a local politician, how would you suggest solutions to this?
Yes, so what I'm hoping is that we've actually solved that big problem, because essentially our entry level and our mid-level salary ranges are very competitive with the schools districts that we compare ourselves to. But the elephant in the room was that top tier, and that's where we had a discrepancy with other comparable towns. So this coming year, that's where we've made that huge adjustment in the salary. So now at the top tier level, we are competitive. I think moving forward, the most important thing is, one, to stay very transparent with the budget. Here are our numbers. We don't want to hide anything. This is what we have. But also at the same time, keep those line of communications open. And I think it's more than just salary. It's also making sure the teachers feel respected, you know, giving them common planning time, listening to what they have to say, because they're in the trenches. They know what's going on in those classrooms, so they need to have a bit more control of that, I think. And as a school district, we need, our greatest asset are our teachers, and we need to retain and protect them and appreciate them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
You now have 2 minutes to address the TV audience.
Okay, and thank you again, Lily, for your time. I appreciate this. On Monday, March 27th, I hope that the constituents of Medfield will come out and vote for me, Anna Mae O'Shea Brooke. I believe that we have great schools, but I also believe that we can make them even better, and I'm ready to work for you. Thank you.
I wish to thank the candidate for participating in this interview, and please remember that democracy is not a spectator sport. Please vote at the Center on Icehouse Road on Monday, March 27th from 6 to 8 p.m.